I'm about to use an analogy that many of you probably understand, me included. Estate planning is like that gym bag that sits in the corner of the room. We know we ought to pick it up and get after it, yet it continues to sit there in the corner and collect dust, slowly mocking us. We know it's important, but the busyness of life keep us from picking it up. Now, I probably don't have to say this to most of you, but leaving the estate plan in the corner has the potential to reap devastation to your family should anything happen to you or your spouse. Many of you don't realize that the wealth that you've accumulated has the power to create what we call trust babies. These are kids or adults that have inherited large sums of money that allow them not to work or be disincentivized to lead a productive life. Rather, they can afford to live off the income of the inherited assets or spend down the wealth over a period of time. In fact, this is going to stun most of you, but do you know that how long the average inheritance lasts? Less than 4 years. What took you decades to accumulate, gone within 4 years. Planning for your wealth after your passing may seem grim or even arise feelings of fear, but it doesn't have to be that way. In fact, when we flip it around, estate planning can be more about life planning than about death planning. Here's how we look at it. There are 3 phases in creating an estate plan. Number 1, the design phase. This is where the magic happens and where I'll touch on a little bit more. Number 2 is the documents phase. And the 3rd phase is called the direction phase. This final phase is extremely important and is mostly overlooked. When we've created the trust or the will or whatever estate planning document we need to ensure that all the assets are pointing to that estate plan. This means changing the way accounts are titled, changing beneficiary designations, or adding transfer on death designations on cash or brokerage accounts. For the sake of this video, I'm going to just touch on the design phase. And the design phase encompasses 6 major decisions, and write these down. Number 1 is the transfer decision. Within this decision, we're going to decide on who are we going to be giving the estate to. Recipients could include kids, grandkids, relatives, extended family, friends, or even charities. We also decide how much or what percentage of the assets will go on to each recipient. Number 2, and my personal favorite, is the treatment decision. This is one of the most critical decisions. As many of you know, your children are not the same as each other and have different strengths and weaknesses. I have 2 younger brothers, and I can tell you, we are not the same at all. We may look alike, but we are very different people. And trust me, I love them to death, but we're very different. This is where we build in the principle of loving our kids equally, but treating them uniquely. This means that even though the kids all may be receiving the same amount, how they receive it may be unique to each of them based upon their own financial strength and maturity. This is different for every family. No 2 families are the same. Some might even argue that these first 2 decisions are the most important decisions in your entire estate plan. These decisions help us to prevent creating trust babies and to ensure the assets serve as a blessing to the kids. The 3rd decision is the timing decision. This includes deciding when we want to start passing wealth to the next generation, now or upon our deaths. Number 4 is the title decision. Number 5 is the tools and techniques decision. Once the basics of the design is finished, we can now begin identifying all the cool tools and techniques that we could use to potentially reduce income taxes and to avoid probate. Lastly is the talk decision. This is a pretty cool decision for most families that they're unaware of. This is the decision of when we want to expose the recipients to the estate plan. Some families do not wish to include their heirs in discussion, while others feel that they would like to prepare their kids for what's coming to convey their intentions. When we open discussions around estate planning, rather than focusing solely on you, we focus on the impact of the assets on the recipients. On top of trying to avoid probate and minimize taxes, we make wise stewardship decisions around planning for how the heirs will receive the funds so that your legacy can be a baton that is carried forward, not to become a curse that destroys your family. Whether it's us or not, I encourage you to pick up the estate planning gym bag in the corner, to get inspired, and to make life-shaping, wise decisions around how your wealth will leave a lasting legacy of your values. For more information around estate planning, please feel free to reach out to our team at 407-299-4129 or visit our website at www.lifewealthgroup.com.